Okay, welcome. This is Enda here. It's the weekend video. It's bullwaves.org. Check out bullwaves.org for nightly Elliott wave analysis if you like what I do. And if you're here, you must like what I do, so get to the website. All right. I'm going to go through. It's lunchtime here on the west coast of the east coast of the Atlantic, west coast of Ireland. So I decided I'd get into it and do the weekly roundup. And it's been an interesting week for sure. Some things have happened, some things haven't. Let's see if we can make some sense of it. All right, I'm going to start with Eurodollar. The long-awaited rally that I was waiting for a long time came, and now I think it's dissipating. So still expecting this turn down into wave 2. Kind of a false start last week. We broke to a new high in wave 5 this week. Well, late last week as well, but enough, I think, to suggest we almost have a wave 1 equals wave 5 here. So wave 1 equals wave 5. We have an extension in a third wave. We have a solid lower high extreme in momentum. We've got that languishing action. All we need is a turn down. So I'm expecting wave 2 to come next week. The hourly count here, you can see maybe we've got the initial beginnings of wave A of A. So that'd be 3 waves down in wave A to form a larger 3 waves down in wave A of 2. So it's going to be a kind of if I'm correct, it's going to be a long kind of arduous corrective process over the next few weeks at least, maybe even a month, as wave 2 gets underway. You can see here that that's where wave 1 and wave 5 reach equality, and we've kind of failed below that level so far. So we'll see if we can make a turn down into wave A. I think if we break 107 again, will probably be a reasonable confirmation. Although 104.80 is let's say the minimum target for wave 2, but I would suspect wave A of 2 will probably make it down towards that 105 level. Okay, let's move on. We have cable here. Wave B kind of has been straining to top out, has not managed. Well, maybe we're managing a small top in wave B now, but it looks like we're probably going to stay pretty flat in overall in wave B red. Maybe we won't fall as far as the 111 area that I was kind of pointing at. Maybe we'll kind of hit into that sort of pivot area there, about 116 or so. But it will be at least a break of 118.40 and probably down around somewhere around 116 to complete wave B. That's what I'm looking for. So we've got wave B, a very slight lower high and a small move lower off that. Obviously, it's not big enough yet to confirm anything, but the overall, that's what I'm looking for. Wave C to begin. We're not there yet. Okay, let's get on to dollar yen. The action in dollar yen this week has been, just pretty wild, to be honest, but trying to make sense of it within the pattern. I think this 3-wave decline overall has come to the end of its life. We've got 3 down in wave A, we've got a small 3-wave correction in wave B, and we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagonal pattern, ending diagonal pattern in wave C. So the pattern is full. We did have an initial spike higher this week, but it pretty much retraced immediately on that BOJ announcement. But we're rallying again today. So I suppose the odds are improving that we have a low in place. I'm kind of hoping that this action kind of clears itself up, because at the moment it's pretty it's tough to let's say put an impulsive, let's say, face on this. This could all be part of another correction higher. So I'm kind of biting my tongue at the moment, unless we have it's possible that spike lower was a failed fifth. If that's the case, maybe we're starting a rally off this kind of slight higher low. I'm positive about the action right now, so let's see if we can follow through next week. I'm looking towards this kind of wave B range here between 132.80 and 131.30, so 150 points there. We will see. I'm kind of holding my breath here, and I'm nudging myself forward towards the idea that we've got a wave one underway again. Got kind of foully treated last week when we broke to a new low, even though we were expecting a tight higher low there. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm just going to hold my breath and let's see if the pattern develops the way I want it to next week. Okay. The Dow definitely made a move in the direction that I wanted to go. It's not the direction that it wants to go, so well, I suppose it went that way this week. So maybe Mr. Market is changing his mind now. We have got a solid 1-2 pattern. That's what I've been pointing out for the last couple of weeks. Nice 5 waves down and 3 waves up, a lower high, slowing momentum again. Almost in that lower high, we almost reached an extreme in momentum to the upside, but we were cut short this week. Nice impulsive move lower. I'm not sure we're finished this first wave down yet, and that's what I'll get to now in the hourly count. But for the moment, I'm reasonably hopeful, reasonably confident that we are turning down into wave 3 now, and this will be wave 3 of 1 of 3. So it should at least be an acceleration lower, especially when we get to the third of a third. And I think we'll probably bottom out below 30,000, but maybe even below 29,000. We might challenge that wave B low yet, 28,600. So it's definitely turning interesting and turning towards my favor at this moment. The wave count that I've been following is producing fruit this week. So let's see if that continues next week. You can see I'm working on this 5-wave pattern lower. Maybe it's done already, I'm not sure. But I'm kind of allowing for a kind of consolidation here in a 4th wave of wave 1, and then another punch lower into wave 5. Maybe even Monday that might happen. A break of wave B there at 32,800 would be very welcome. So we'll see if we get 5 waves down in wave 1, and then a correction higher in wave 2 next week. So that is the idea so far. This week has been good. We've pretty much retraced all of that rally that happened in wave C, but now we need kind of confirmation and an acceleration lower into wave 3 of 1. Okay, so let's get on to gold. Gold has not followed suit this week. I thought it might follow suit with the market. We're still not there yet. I did update the wave count last night to kind of to give another interpretation on this ending diagonal pattern, but still yet to kind of how would you say, meet its maker here. I'd like to go out. It's been a substantial rally, no problem. No, I will grant you that, no problem at all whatsoever. I think it's probably wave 1 to begin wave 5, or wave 1 to begin wave 1 of 5, depending on how, depending on the, let's say the degree of the pattern which we follow it. But we'll see. We have seen this before, though. So we saw it back at the beginning. This basically an identical move at the beginning of 2022. So exactly 1 year ago, gold made a rally, almost threatened a new high, and then completely collapsed. So I am wary that the same thing can happen here. So at this point, I'm pretty confident there's going to be a second wave correction, but you don't want to be buying in at the top of an extended rally in wave 1. You want to leave it for that second wave low, and that's what I have been pointing to for ages now. So don't say I never said it. Okay, so here's this 4-hour count. That's the wave 1 that I'm following here. We could move this up 1 degree, kind of doesn't change anything. If we go down to the lower degree count, the hourly count, you can see we've got an alternate view on wave 4 here. So as a running flat correction, and then 3 up in and ABC up in 1. So ABC up in 1, correction 2, ABC up in 3, correction 4, ABC up in 5. So ending diagonal. Let's say the wedge pattern is forming again. It doesn't change. The internal count has changed, but it doesn't change, let's say, the dynamics of the pattern. That's kind of going along as it should, I suppose. Just because it hasn't reached the top yet, it doesn't mean that it won't very, very quickly. And I think the turn lower, when it does happen, will be pretty violent. So again, watch out for that when it does. So we'll go on to crude oil. Here's the 4-hour count in crude oil. We did get this second wave, the alternate second wave triggered this week, and then once immediately it triggered, it fell immediately again. So whether we're at the end of wave C of 2 still remains to be seen, I suppose. But the short-term count is definitely favoring a top pretty soon. Here is that infamous short-term count. That's the hourly count. So we've got 3 up in A, 3 down in B, expanded flat correction. So which made way for the rally. I was looking for this rally as a correction higher within a second wave. So that got triggered, or that wave count got broken this week. So we did break to a new high, but we immediately collapsed off that new high. So we're still languishing around the 50% retracement of wave 1 here. So wave 2 has basically achieved what it should achieve. We retraced to the previous 4th wave high. Overall we traced out 3 waves. It's been pretty much a sideways move over the last couple of months. The internal pattern of wave C still, I suppose, can be viewed as a couple of different ways, but at this point, I think it is worthwhile considering the idea that we have a top in place for wave C here. So if wave C is done, then wave 2 is done, then we should look for 5 waves down again to begin wave 1 of 3. So definitely the stock market's leading the way on this one. We will see whether crude oil will follow suit, and I think it will eventually. Okay, here's the S&P. We've got again a couple of degree wave counts which you can go with here. They're all second waves though. Second wave in blue, second wave in green, second wave in blue again. 3 different degrees. You can call it whichever way you want. That's still an impulsive decline off that second wave high. And again, this week we have the versioning possibility of another impulsive decline building. So if we got that wave 1 down, 3 waves up in wave 2, wave 3, if wave 3 is underway now, we would be expecting wave 3 to probably push below 3,000 to complete, and it will involve a pretty serious acceleration in wave 3 of 3. So let's get the hourly count and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. That's that wave 2 high. Got 5 waves down into wave 1, 3 wave correction higher, just topped out above the 62% retracement level. We kind of came to a dead halt over the last week or so in the area of that 62% retracement. So that fib level was forming some sort of psychological let's say barrier to advance there. Plus the fact that the momentum was slowing. We had that ending diagonal pattern completing wave C. So we were looking for a turn down this week, and we got a turn down. It hasn't been as impressive, let's say, as the Dow yet. We haven't challenged the wave B low yet, so that comes in at a break of 3,800. So I would expect wave 1 to push towards that 3,800 level. It's not. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning here. It's not exactly required that we break the wave B low here, but it would be definitely a step in the right direction. So, do we develop 5 waves down in wave 1 and threaten the wave B low? I suppose we'll have to leave it for the rest of today's action and maybe Monday before that happens. Even if we do build a smaller higher or lower high here, maybe we can afford to move down our wave count to kind of take account of that. I suppose ideally I'm looking for a challenge of the B wave low, so that's kind of where I'm going to keep my eye on for the moment. Anyway, but let's see how the action goes today. If we get another punch lower down towards, let's say that down towards that 3,800 level, I'd be very happy with that to call that wave one complete. So that'll be wave one of three, and the big acceleration lower would have to wait for another few days before that would take hold. Okay, so we get to silver. We've had, let's say, a stall pretty much since the middle of December. We've basically gone sideways since the middle of December. Are we building that kind of head and shoulders pattern? I'm kind of hoping that we are, at least for a corrective form, lower a substantial correction back towards about $20 again. I wouldn't get interested in silver until we got back towards about $20 again. And I'm preferring the idea that we break to a new low below $17. If we get there, then I'll be screaming and kicking about silver. But for the moment, after an extended rally, I think after that extended rally, I'm not changing my point of view here. I do think we need a substantial correction, at least to kind of wring out the excesses that have been, let's say, developed during this rally, and the biases that have come forth during this rally. Okay, let's move on. I suppose the kind of overarching lurch towards deflation will pretty much take care of this anyway. But let's see how it goes. Bitcoin, a savage rally this week, kind of blew out what I was expecting, but nonetheless, I think let's just zoom out a second to the daily count. This is our rally this week. Again, I think this week we had another exchange filed for bankruptcy. So let's see what they did with people's money. You could, there's a bit of shuffling that we could do here. Maybe we're getting an extended fourth wave. Maybe that's an extended third wave, and we're getting some sort of fourth wave now at a higher degree. We still should expect that fifth wave down in wave C. I think, excuse me for vocalizing there, but the overall pattern I don't think is complete here yet. Whatever happened this week was it's a pretty isolated event. I would say somebody is doing a little bit of manipulation here, because it seems to be a market that is rife for manipulation. But anyway, we've got a breach of that previous high, a previous left shoulder there, and a failure at that left shoulder. So we will see if we kind of wring out that rally that developed this week. There's a major gap there in the middle there. So somewhere around 19,600, we break that gap again. We should probably be looking lower for longer. Let's see how that develops next week. I'm not going to dive too much into that. NASDAQ has been going with the flow. It's turning lower as expected. We also got an extended C wave rally, so you can get that's wave one down, wave two up. We got an extended wave C rally within wave two, but we've kind of turned along with the S&P this week, along with the broader market. So the rally in wave two came in just above the 62% retracement again, and so far we've had a failure at that level. So if this is wave three beginning, I think wave one of three is coming our way, and we should retrace most of wave B this week, I think. So watch out next week. So watch out for that. Possible 1-2 pattern, possible beginning or acceleration into a third wave coming our way. And I think that's it. Ether. No, I don't usually look at Ether, but apart from that, I think we are at the end of the video. As usual, I end a bad news video with good news. First I got to give you the bad news. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. That's no doubt about that. And I am the exhibit number 1. So, guilty as charged, but I have been justified by my Savior, Jesus Christ. He came, He died, He paid for my sin. I'm ever grateful for that. I ever will be grateful for that. And He'll do the same for you, or He has done the same for you. All you got to do is accept it. It's a free gift, but it's a gift that can't be forced on you. So you kind of got to step out of your comfort zone and say, "Show me, Lord. I accept it if it's true." God's listening, and He'll show you. All you got to do is ask. I don't know how I usually end this, but we are all going to come to that day when our life will end. There is not one person apart from Christ that rose again. There is not one person that has lived eternally just yet, physically on this earth, I mean. So, our day is coming, and we can wake up in the morning, be thankful for the day, and say, this could be the day. Am I right with God? I always think that if I'm going to, let's say if I was to visit Magic Johnson's house or Shaquille O'Neal or whoever, or anybody, someone famous, if I was to rock up to, Joe Biden's house and knock on the front door, not that I'd be let in, but I'd just say, "Hey, let me in there, Joe. I'm your buddy O. You know me. I'm a good guy. I've done lots of nice things during my life. I'm a nice guy. Can you let me in?" And he would say, "Get away from me. I don't know you." And that's what happens with people who don't know God through their Savior, Jesus Christ. "Depart from me, for I do not know you." And there's only one other place to go. So make sure you don't go there. We all want to see you in heaven. Get right with God and accept the Savior. That's that. Okay, I'll see you on the website tonight for tonight's update, and have a good one. Have a nice weekend. See you next week if I'm still alive. Like I said, I might shuffle off this mortal coil too. So if there's no video, that's probably what's happened. Bye-bye.